South Florida, this is Headliners, only on CBS News Miami.
Hello and welcome to Headliners. I'm Naja Sherman. Now to a story you will see only on CBS News Miami. A South Florida woman is desperate to reunite with her Venezuelan husband. She says he was detained by immigration agents while getting ready to go to work. She says she's an American citizen and her husband came to the U.S. legally with a pending green card application. CBS News Miami's Yvonne Taylor joins us from Southwest Miami-Dade with more details.
His wife is devastated. She told me that her husband was actually taken into custody from here, which is the apartment building where they live. She has not seen him since.
I just need my husband. Like, in all honesty,
Madison Pestana has a hard time talking about her feelings. Last Friday, her 29-year-old husband, Juan David Pestana, never made it to his job.
He said, I have been detained by ICE.
She told me it happened in the parking lot of their building.
He was walking to his truck to go to
Now he's at Crum Detention Center.
I'm a U.S. citizen. I was born and raised here. And you're not protecting me. You took my husband from me.
Today, they finally spoke.
Him being in there feels like my insides have been taken away from me.
Juan David Pestana applied for political asylum. A year and a half after getting married, they filed for residency through marriage. But there was a problem.
The only reason we're in this mess is because we trusted someone that told us they were a lawyer, and they weren't.
Martin Rosnow is the immigration attorney handling his case. He tells me that's why this man is on the verge of being deported.
Because these people ended up defrauding the family, his wife and Juan David, everything got delayed and they weren't able to file until about a month ago. And so it didn't allow enough time for the green card application to be approved, and he found himself in this very difficult circumstance.
He is my everything.
Madison Pestana recently graduated from med school and just received a job offer in Jacksonville, but her life now is in limbo.
I am being put in a position right now that I have worked 15 years of my life to become a surgeon. But if my husband is kicked out of this country, I will have to go with him, because I'm not living my life without my husband.
We reached out to the federal government for a reaction about this case, and they sent us a statement, which we put it on the screen for you, which reads, quote, Juan David Pestana Buendia is an unlawfully present alien with dual citizenship from Venezuela and Portugal. Pestana Buendia legally entered the country on June 29, 2021, and failed to comply with the terms of his admission. He was arrested by ICE officers on May 9, 2025. He will remain in ICE custody pending his removal from the country, end quote. His attorney, though, told me he's requesting a parole, and what that means is to have Pestana released, wait for his case to be solved, but with his wife at home. We are in Southwest Miami-Dade. Yvonne Taylor, CBS News, Miami.
On Thursday, the Supreme Court heard oral arguments. It's about the enforcement of President Donald Trump's birthright citizenship executive order. At the heart of it, the power of presidential authority and that of the lower courts. CBS News Miami's Jim Barry joins us with what the justices had to say.
The Trump administration wants the Supreme Court to determine if lower court judges have the authority to interfere with or ban presidential executive orders, pushing back against 3 such lower court rulings that have stalled President Trump's attempt to end birthright citizenship in the United States.
The original meaning of the Citizenship Clause extended citizenship to the children of former slaves, not to people who are unlawfully or temporarily present in the United States.
We said after the Civil War we were never again going to debate whether a child born on U.S. soil is in fact an American citizen.
The administration frames its argument as a modest effort to limit the ability of lower courts to issue universal injunctions. But critics say a ruling in the administration's favor in this case could allow it to, in essence, overturn the 14th Amendment.
If we take that away, then we have babies born in this country with no attachment to any country.
Some of the key points being engaged by both liberal and conservative justices today, allowing Trump's executive order to stand, could lead to requiring individuals to file their own lawsuits to protect their citizenship rights. or the possibility that birthright citizenship would only be upheld on a state-by-state basis.
Let's just say Colorado brings a case like the one we did here, but let's say Idaho doesn't. What happens if you're born in Idaho? You don't get the benefit of the ruling. You're not a citizen, but what if you move to Colorado? Do you become one?
We're standing up not only from a moral place, but also because we believe in the rule of law and what it has been in this context for over 150 years.
In the studio, I'm Jim Barry, CBS News, Miami.
Storm season is just around the corner, and Fort Lauderdale residents hope a new pump station will help them the next time there is flooding. CBS News Miami's Steve Majiri spoke to residents about their expectations earlier this week.
Fort Lauderdale only got just under 2 inches of rain today, but the city is preparing for even heavier downpours. The city installed these new pumps here just in time for wet season, and residents I spoke to tell me that they're glad this system is here, but they won't believe that it works until it's tested during a storm. Beverly Freeman says severe flooding prep is a seasonal chore.
They're all like 50 pounds each now.
She's learned to surround her home with sandbags after flooding in June of last year and April of the year before. She says she's had to put up tens of thousands of dollars to fix flood damage at her home in the River Oaks neighborhood in Fort Lauderdale.
This never used to happen, and now it does, so.
Every year?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah! But this flood season, Fort Lauderdale finished building a new pump station. The city unveiled it in December and told us it was finished ahead of schedule. Freeman says she's done doing all this cleanup.
I can't do it again.
A Fort Lauderdale city official says the pumps can also serve the Edgewood neighborhood, which has also become a flood zone. Kitty McGowan lives there and is the Edgewood Civic Association president. She says residents here are losing patience.
A lot of people are done. If you drive around this neighborhood, there's a ton of for sale signs.
McGowan and Freeman appreciate the new infrastructure, but say they still want to see it work first.
We don't know. We'll see.
If this happens to me again, I'm out of here.
A Fort Lauderdale city spokesperson says that the city has spent around $50 million in improving the stormwater management systems in both the Edgewood and River Oaks neighborhoods. The city spokesperson also tells me that the current system that they have here can manage anywhere from 7 to 10 inches of stormwater in a day. In Fort Lauderdale, Steve Majiri, CBS News, Miami.
When we come back, your next trip to the grocery store may cost you a little extra, while some of your favorite items might cost more. Next.
From South Florida, this is Headliners, only on CBS News, Miami.
Welcome back. I'm Naja Sherman. We all love seafood, right? And now a salmon farm right here in South Florida is helping to make sure stores and restaurants are never in short supply. Next, weather meteorologist Dave Warren takes us to Bluehouse Salmon.
When you think of farming in southern Miami-Dade County, this is typically not what you picture.
We're taking an industry that's normally done in Norway and Chile to a place where nobody's ever seen a salmon being raised.
That place, Bluehouse Salmon, located in Homestead, fish farmed in the heart of South Florida's agricultural community. Like everything else here, the process starts small, with eggs hatching and growing in a cold freshwater environment.
For the first 7 weeks in the system, we're going to teach them how to come up to the surface to start feeding.
As the fish get larger, so do the tanks. Every step of growth and transport is done indoors, the environment completely controlled.
In this system, we give them winter. The first winter, salmon move out to the ocean, and here we lower the temperature and we turn off the lights for 16 hours a day.
From simulated winter inside this freshwater tank, they take the next step.
We're getting them ready to migrate to salt water,
which is what is in the larger tanks here. It's that salt water that brought them here to South Florida, miles away from the ocean, surrounded by farms and nurseries. Surrounded by salt water here in South Florida. Now that Homestead Salmon Farm, Bluehouse, it's here west of Homestead, well away from the coast. It does not pull the salt water in from the coast, but it pulls it up from below. Starting as small fish, they're in freshwater. They get that from the Biscayne Aquifer, just like we all get our freshwater here. It is the Floridian Aquifer that is key. An abundant supply of biosecure salt water thousands of feet down, that is what they use as the fish transition to that salt water water. Once the water is all said and done, though, it is discharged just like any other water here in South Florida, well below ground, safely into the Boulder Zone. That Floridian aquifer, that abundant supply of salt water, is what brought Bluehouse here. It not only produces sushi-grade salmon, it also reduces the product's environmental footprint simply by producing it right here in the U.S.
Which is great not only to be local, but also removing the carbon footprint associated to air freights.
And that's important for a product that is second only to shrimp in seafood popularity. Americans consume a total of 918 million pounds of salmon per year. Here at Bluehouse, they currently can produce 19 million pounds with a goal to scale up to over 400 million pounds per year in the coming years. It's part of the story they tell along with their retailers.
Tell people that it's local, that it's fresher, that it's very sustainable and obviously extremely healthy.
That was CBS News Miami's Dave Warren reporting. If you are wondering where you can find Bluehouse salmon, it's at Publix. It's at the fish counter and it will be labeled. What's not sold in stores is sold to pet food producers. The process takes about 22 months. While we may never be in short supply of salmon at grocery stores here in South Florida, the largest big box store in the country announced it's raising prices. Walmart is blaming tariffs for the price increases. CBS News Miami's Steve Majiri shows us how shoppers will have to adjust.
So we got organic eggs.
Sebastian Montanez says Walmart is his go-to because he can get everything in one store.
It's usually cheaper. That's why we always come here.
But he didn't know Walmart announced its increasing prices until we told him. He says he may go back in and stock up before the price hike kicks in.
I mean, I just spent $70 and it kind of hurt.
So if this was more, that would be an even bigger pinch.
Yeah, I don't think I would come here.
The retail giant blamed the price increases on tariffs placed on foreign imports into the U.S. Walmart's chief financial officer told CNBC that the company imports about a third of its food and merchandise from outside of the U.S. When we reached out to Walmart for comment, we were referred to the company's first quarter earnings report, and a spokesperson sent us a quote from CEO Doug McMillon during an earnings call where he said, "We will do our best to keep our prices as low as possible, but given the magnitude of the tariffs, even at the reduced levels announced this week, we aren't able to absorb all the pressure given the reality of narrow retail margins." Charles Sachs is a certified financial planner. He says before binge shopping, consumers should first wait until they know what items will get more expensive and by how much. He says the tariffs are changing constantly, and tomorrow may be different than today.
Certainly it's a moving target when it comes to buying, and the tariffs, as we know, every day there's a new announcement. So just like everything in life, hold steady with that. Do not panic. Do not store up on things you may not even need.
Montanez says if the prices go up too much, then he may have to find somewhere else to spend his money. He says he will be keeping his receipts after a trip to the store.
My mom just told me start adding up whatever you spend and stay consistent.
I did ask Walmart how much of a price increase customers could see and whether certain products would get an increase and others wouldn't. I also asked if there would be a specific date when these price increases would kick in. I did not get a response to any of those questions. In Doral, Steve Majiri, CBS News, Miami.
When we come back, see how a man in Florida is spending his retirement and spreading smiles one bike at a time. Stay with us.
From South Florida, this is Headliners, only on CBS News, Miami.
Welcome back. I'm Naja Sherman. South Florida's largest emergency homeless assistance center says half of its residents are women and children. Number of seniors is growing too, but few need mentors more than a group of young men living there. So members of a fraternity stepped in. CBS News Miami's Larry Seward shows us how they are changing lives and making Miami proud.
Inside Chapman Partnership's downtown Miami campus, hope sits in circles, meeting eye to eye with young men mired in the trauma of homelessness.
So for me, that fills my cup. And that is literally the reason why I do this.
John A. Ramirez is life coach. He leads monthly meetings inside this campus, the largest emergency housing assistance center in Miami-Dade County.
You're in control of your life.
Today, 15 teenage residents, some still in high school, others on the verge of aging out of foster care, take notes from volunteer mentors. 9 members of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity's Zeta Nu Nu chapter explain the key to self-awareness and relationship management.
We want to have things that they can take away and implement in their life to help them better themselves and better their situation.
You know, if we can do that and get people out of a survival mode into believing that they can thrive, I think is as noble a thing as you can possibly do.
For Ramirez,
this is how I took myself out of the trauma, victimhood, and entitlement life that I used to live.
It's personal. Zeta Nu Nu's Vice Basilius Pat Lawrence is his mentor and has been for 16 years. So when the fraternity launched the Sons of Thunder mentorships 2 years ago, Ramirez made it his life's work.
So when I understood that a lot of the kids that are involved in the program are aging out and there is no opportunity for them, I saw that there was an opportunity. And we can give them some tools of resiliency and self-advocacy so they can thrive and live a thriving life.
It is a goal center managers share for all residents.
Life happens because of me.
Life happens because of me.
But the impact Hope is having on this circle of young men is making Miami proud. Larry Seward, CBS News, Miami.
Getting around can be a challenge for people experiencing homelessness. As CBS News Miami's Christian Benavides reports, one Florida man is spending part of his retirement helping people who are homeless one bicycle at a time.
Retired music teacher Russell Durham has found a new instrument to bring joy. A bicycle.
It's been checked over.
Rusty, as he's affectionately known, hooks up people experiencing homelessness with free bikes at this Orlando, Florida outreach center every Tuesday.
What a difference it makes in their way of life and also in their mental attitude.
The day we met Rusty, he had a bike for 59-year-old Michael Hogue. Hogue told us he's been living in the streets for the past 3 years.
It's like Christmas. It really is like Christmas. I've been waiting for like a year for a bike. This is so much a blessing to me. I'm gonna ride this bike all day today.
Hogue plans to use the bike to get to work.
We see tears. We get hugs.
Rusty's Bicycle Recycle started as a nonprofit nearly 20 years ago and now partners with a number of Central Florida organizations. Kathleen Jorge is outreach director at Service and Love Together, better known as SALT.
It's making huge impacts in people's lives and helping them not be in this situation anymore.
The Orlando Police Department is also a partner, sending unclaimed bicycles from Evidence to Rusty and his team. The bikes that are donated are repaired in this garage. Rusty operates it with the help of a few volunteers. And once a month, Rusty hosts a bicycle repair clinic, running the nonprofit without any employees and entirely on donations and grants, all to deliver some personal transportation where it's needed.
Most of the time, people are asking them to move along or ignoring them. They're shunned. Instead, to be embraced and have people care about you. Wow, what a change that can make in a person.
Changing lives, one ride at a time. Christian Benavides, CBS News, Orlando.
Thank you for joining us for this half hour of Headliners. Stay with CBS News Miami for up-to-the-minute breaking news and weather 24 hours a day. Have a wonderful day.